Here are the most disturbing mythical creatures to ever exist. Picture this. You're chilling by a lake or river in ancient Mexico, maybe doing some laundry or catching fish, minding your own business. Suddenly you hear it, a baby crying somewhere nearby. You look around but don't see anyone. The crying gets louder, more desperate. Being a decent human being, you move closer to the water's edge to help. That's when you feel it. Something grabs your hand. Not your arm, specifically your hand. You look down and see what appears to be a sleek, black-furred, cute dog. But then you notice something absolutely wrong about it. Growing out of the end of its tail is a human hand, and that hand has an iron grip on yours. You try to pull away, but it's too late. No, absolutely not. You're being dragged into the water. This is the Ahuizotl, and its name translates to spiny aquatic thing, which honestly doesn't do justice to how nightmare-inducing this creature is. But drowning you isn't even the worst part. The Ahuizotl has very specific tastes. It wants your eyes, your teeth, and your fingernails. After dragging you to your watery grave, it rips out these body parts and takes them as trophies to its underwater lair. The Aztecs believed that if you drowned and your body washed up missing these particular parts, you were destined to go to one of their heavenly paradises. So I guess there's a silver lining? You're dead, but at least you're going somewhere nice. The creature would imitate the cries of babies or people in distress to lure victims closer. And if that didn't work, it would create small whirlpools and crashing wave sounds to make you think someone was drowning. If you hear someone crying for help near a body of water and you can't see them, maybe just don't. Next up, we need to talk about a man named Mythical Jarasena from ancient Sri Lanka. Jarasena was a giant of a man, and not just in the metaphorical sense. He was literally enormous, towering over everyone else. He was also incredibly strong and became a fearsome hunter. But Jarasena made a terrible mistake. He killed a Buddhist priest, which is basically the worst thing you could possibly do. As punishment for his crime, Jarasena was executed and beheaded. But here's where it gets weird. Someone, and the legends don't specify who or why, decided to bring him back to life. They took the head of a bear and attached it to Jarasena's headless body. So now you have a giant man with the head of a bear, and unsurprisingly, this abomination became a demon. This is Mahasona. Now picture this, you're walking home late at night through your village in Sri Lanka. You have to pass by the cemetery, but you're trying not to think about it. The air suddenly feels heavier, colder. You quicken your pace. Then you hear it, heavy footsteps behind you, and a low growling that sounds almost like a bear, but not quite. You turn around and in the moonlight, you see a massive figure. A man's body that's way too tall, but where the head should be, there's the snarling face of a bear. Before you can run, it charges and tear you into pieces. But if you somehow manage to survive, within hours you'll be burning with fever. Your body convulses with seizures. You're seeing things that aren't there, screaming about a bare-headed giant. No medicine works. No doctor can explain it, because you never escaped. Mahasona has possessed you. This demon roams around graveyards and dark places at night, searching for victims. When he finds someone, he makes them incredibly sick with a mysterious illness that no medicine can cure. The possessed person suffers from seizures, madness, and excruciating pain. The only way to save them is through an exorcism ritual performed by a priest or demon dancer, which involves hours of chanting, offerings, and elaborate ceremonies. And even then, there's no guarantee it'll work. This giant bare-headed abomination stalks the night looking for revenge against all living humans. So if you're in Sri Lanka and feel a sudden chill followed by unexplained illness, you might want to call a priest. Our next creature's backstory starts with a woman who wanted power. She was beautiful, ambitious, and she turned to black magic to get what she desired. She studied dark rituals, made terrible bargains, and practiced forbidden arts. The magic worked, but it came with a price. This is the Penanggalan from Malaysian and Indonesian folklore, and the price she paid was absolutely horrifying. Picture this, you're a new mother in a small Malaysian village. Your baby is only a few weeks old, sleeping peacefully in their crib. It's the middle of the night when you wake up to a strange smell. Vinegar? Why would you smell vinegar? You get up to check on your baby, and that's when you see it through the window. A woman's head, just a head floating outside. But trailing beneath it are all of her internal organs, lungs, intestines, stomach, everything, hanging down like grotesque ribbons, dripping and pulsating in the moonlight. The head turns toward you, and you watch in horror as an impossibly long tongue extends from its mouth, reaching toward your window, toward your baby. Oh, come on. Penanggalan's head detaches from her body completely at night, organs and all, and flies away to hunt. She's particularly fond of the blood of newborn babies and pregnant women. She'll hover outside houses using her long invisible tongue to reach through cracks and crevices to suck blood from her victims. She can slip through even the tiniest gaps, making locked doors and windows basically useless. During the day, she looks like a normal woman, hiding her true nature by keeping her organs in a jar filled with vinegar. Before her head can reattach to her body at dawn, she has to soak her dangling organs in the vinegar to shrink them back down to fit inside her body cavity. If you want to kill the Penanggalan, find her body while she's out hunting and fill the neck cavity with broken glass or thorns. When her head tries to reattach, the glass will shred her organs and she'll die. Medieval home security at its finest. Now let's talk about a woman from Venezuela who had everything. She was beautiful, married to a loving husband, and had a young son. Her name has been lost to time, but her story hasn't. One day her mother came to her with devastating news. Her husband was being unfaithful. Consumed by jealous rage, and without bothering to verify this information, she murdered her husband. Then in her blind fury, she killed her son too. When the rage finally cleared and she realized what she'd done, her mother cursed her to wander the earth forever as a vengeful spirit. This is La Sayona. Picture this, you're driving alone on a lonely Venezuelan road late at night. Your wife is at home, but you're not heading there. You're on your way to meet someone you shouldn't be meeting. That's when you see her, a beautiful woman in a white dress hitchhiking on the side of the road. You pull over, she gets in, smiling at you. She's gorgeous, and she seems interested. You drive to a secluded area, and she leans in close. That's when her face changes. The beautiful features melt away, revealing a decayed, skeletal face with wild eyes and a mouth full of sharp teeth. You try to scream, but no sound comes out. La Sayona has found another unfaithful man. La Sayona roams the Venezuelan countryside looking for unfaithful men to punish. She appears as a beautiful woman, often hitchhiking along lonely roads or appearing in bars. Men who are cheating on their partners are her primary targets. She seduces them, lures them away, and then reveals her true form before attacking. But here's the thing, if you're faithful and good-hearted, she'll actually leave you alone. Some stories say she'll even warn good men about dangers ahead. So she's kind of like a supernatural relationship counselor, except instead of therapy, she offers death and madness. Finally, let's talk about a woman in Japan who is extraordinarily beautiful. Some say she was the wife of a samurai, others say she was a mistress. Either way, her beauty was legendary, but when her husband discovered she was having an affair, he took his sword and did something unthinkable. He sliced her mouth from ear to ear, creating a grotesque permanent smile, and asked, "Who will think you're beautiful now?" Picture this. You're walking home from school in Japan. It's getting dark. You see a woman standing under a streetlight wearing a surgical mask, which is normal enough in Japan. But as you get closer, she turns to you and asks a simple question. "Am I pretty?" You hesitate. Something feels wrong. But you say yes, because what else are you supposed to say? She removes her mask, and you see it. Her mouth is sliced open from ear to ear in a horrific, permanent grin. She asks again, "How about now?" There's no right answer. Say no, and she kills you with her scissors immediately. Say yes, and she will cut your face to match hers. It's the worst multiple-choice question ever. But there are ways to escape. You can give her an ambiguous answer like, "You're average," which confuses her long enough to run. You can throw candy at her, because apparently she gets distracted by sweets, like a supernatural toddler. The legend became so widespread in 1970s Japan that it caused actual mass hysteria. Schools sent children home in groups and police increased patrols. Whether the sightings were real or mass paranoia is up for debate, but an entire country was terrified. So there you have it, 5 creatures that are definitely haunting your dreams tonight. Drop a comment and let me know which one is your favorite. Thank you for watching. Until next time, sleep tight and maybe leave the lights on. You're welcome.